My name is Jazzo, and I am an artist in all sense of the word. I write, songwrite, and produce all of my own music. I'm also learning how to record myself, and I'm trying to bring a holistic approach to all of my creation by directing my own videos, doing my own choreography, and dancing, and acting, and everything. My interest in music started as a simple curiosity. A few of my uncles produce, and when I was at my grandma's house, I kind of would just sit there and they would be like, don't touch anything, and I would just have to sit there and watch everything they were doing. So it definitely started on the backhand of sound, like me wanting to just play with the keyboard or play with the guitar in the room. I just really wanted to try everything out. But it wasn't until I was 12 in middle school that I had like this karaoke machine that had two tape decks where I could dub myself, and that's when I got into layering my voice over and over and over, and I made like these funky like parody songs to like Chingy Right There and just made some really silly stuff. And after I showed my uncle and my mom, they were like, this is actually kind of good and you're 12, you know, like, we should probably. And my mom would like blast it at all the stoplights. And I mean, it sounded like crappy quality, but to this day, it's in my heart. Honestly, all of my work, most of my work comes from such hard, trying times of my life. And I would say there's probably a selection of songs that really speak to me because they're so true and so real and so honest and so like shocking. Anyone that were to hear them would think that I made it up, you know? The first one that comes to mind is a song called Lion, and it has not been released yet. But I took something that had happened to me and then I added to stories of others around me around the same time. And I kind of did create like a fake story, but I just feel like it touches so many bases that like when I'm singing it or performing it, there's just something that like takes me back to like so many different experiences, and I'm just saying to myself like if anyone heard this, they would relate to it, even if they don't relate to it directly. Like what I'm saying here, everyone has experienced this, and lying is based on lies. So everyone's been lied to, everyone's had to lie. And even though in the story it's like a love story and someone cheats and blah, 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 I just still feel like the way I craft certain lines and certain phrases is unique and it can be applied like in a number of situations. Um, I definitely think my music is R&B. It's really hard for me to say, but I think it is R&B. I want so badly to say that it's more alternative and electronic samples in like a fusion into R&B, but it doesn't really speak that way just yet. And that comes from having to work with other people, you know, and that's why I'm hibernating right now and trying to do a lot of the things on myself so I can portray myself in like this 100% genuine form. My top five females, I'm birthed from these five women. And the first of which is Erica Badu. That's my mom. For Mother's Day, I posted a picture of Erica Badu on my Facebook and I said, Happy Mother's Day, Mom. And my mom saw it and was like, what? So that was a thing. And then there's Jill Scott. There's also Sade. And then Lauryn Hill. And the last of which surprises everyone when I say it, but it's Dido. So those five women, if you know them, you can listen to me and kind of say, okay, that came from there, and this is Jazzo, and that's definitely where that came from. I like heard somewhere that like the minute you feel like you've reached your success, like that's where you should stop. I have this like never ending, ever evolving like philosophy towards life in general. So I don't want to stop anywhere. However, I would be happy if I could just stop working. And I would be content if I could produce all and release all of my music from my home. So I'll feel pretty good once I finish getting a lot of equipment in my house, and I'll feel pretty good once I have a larger audience that is fiending for the music and someone to hear everything that I have to say. My website is whoisjazzo.com. I contemplated a name change, but as you can probably see from this interview, Jazzo really is my nickname and it really is me, so I'm gonna stick with it because I plan on being myself. My Instagram is @epiphable. It's also one of my blogs where you can see a lot of my poems or journal entries that turned into songs. So that's epiphable.tumblr.com. Epiphable is just an adjective for epiphany, and I feel like a lot of my experiences have turned into epiphanies, and I am epiphable. Having this experience with me right now, you may have an epiphany later, you know? So Who is Jazzo will link you to everything else. My Reverb Nation page, my Instagram, all of that will be connected to you through whoisjazzo.com.